Do you ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of too much? Too many things to do, too many possessions, too many expectations weighing you down. The world roars with demands for more, faster, bigger, leaving an echo of emptiness where peace should reside. This constant striving, this endless accumulation, does it truly lead to the happiness we seek, or does it merely build taller walls around it? We chase a horizon that seems to recede with every step, believing fulfillment lies in the next acquisition, the next achievement. But what if the path to genuine happiness isn't about adding more, but about gracefully letting go? What if the deepest joy is found not in the complex, but in the profoundly simple? This is an ancient whisper, a timeless truth we often overlook in our hurried lives. Thousands of years ago, a wise sage named Lao Tzu offered a different perspective, a path less traveled. He observed the rhythms of nature, the effortless flow of the universe. And from this, he shared wisdom on how to live in harmony, how to find contentment not by conquering the world, but by understanding ourselves and our place within it. His teachings offer a beacon in our complex modern age. Lao Tzu's central text, the Tao Te Ching, speaks of the Tao, the fundamental way, the natural order of existence. It's not a deity to be worshipped, but a principle to be observed and aligned with. Trying to force life against its natural current, he suggested, is the root of much of our struggle. Simplicity, then, begins with recognizing this flow. Imagine a river. It doesn't strain to reach the ocean, it simply flows. It encounters obstacles, yet it adapts, either going around them or gently wearing them away over time. This is the essence of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. It's not about doing nothing, but about acting in accordance with nature, without unnecessary force or internal resistance. The modern world often equates success with constant, forceful effort, pushing, striving, controlling. Lao Tzu invites us to consider the power of yielding, of receptivity. Like the softest water can shape the hardest stone, aligning with the Tao allows us to achieve more with less internal friction, preserving our precious energy for what truly matters. Simplify your life, Lao Tzu might say, begins with observing where we apply force unnecessarily. Where do we fight against the current, creating stress and exhaustion for ourselves? This isn't about passivity, but about intelligent action that is in harmony with the greater whole, reducing the complexity we ourselves often create. Consider your possessions. Each item you own also, in a way, owns a piece of you, your time, your energy, your attention. The pursuit of more things often becomes a heavy burden, cluttering not just our homes, but our minds. Lao Tzu championed frugality, not as deprivation, but as a path to freedom from these material anchors. The uncarved block, or pu, is a key Taoist symbol. It represents the original, natural state of things, full of potential, before human interference carves it into something specific and limited. Simplifying means returning to this state of naturalness and inherent wholeness, unburdened by artificial complexities and desires. When we crave less, we paradoxically open ourselves to receive more of what truly nourishes the soul, peace, clarity, and a deeper connection to life itself. The constant hunger for external validation, for more stuff, more status, clouds our ability to appreciate the abundance already present. True happiness is not a destination to be reached through accumulation. Lao Tzu taught, "He who knows he has enough is rich." This is a radical redefinition of wealth. It shifts the focus from external circumstances to internal contentment. True richness is not about the size of your bank account, but the spaciousness of your heart and mind, unburdened by perpetual wanting. Simplicity in our desires naturally leads to simplicity in our actions. When we are not driven by 1,000 wants, our choices become clearer, our path less convoluted. We can focus our energy on what is truly meaningful, rather than scattering it in pursuit of fleeting distractions. This is a profound way to reclaim your life. Think about your daily schedule. Is it packed to the brim, leaving no room for breath, for spontaneity, for simply being? Simplifying here means consciously choosing to do less, but to do it with more presence and intention. It's about quality over quantity, depth over breadth. Lao Tzu emphasized the importance of emptiness, like the hollow in a cup that makes it useful. Our minds, too, need space. A mind cluttered with constant thoughts, worries, and plans has no room for new insights, for peace, or for appreciating the present moment. Simplifying our mental landscape is crucial. How do we create this mental space? One way is by detaching from the endless stream of information and stimulation. By choosing quiet moments, by practicing stillness, even for a few minutes each day. This allows the sediment of our thoughts to settle, revealing the clarity beneath. The pursuit of true happiness, as Lao Tzu saw it, is an inward journey. External achievements and possessions can bring fleeting pleasure, but lasting contentment arises from cultivating inner qualities: peace, compassion, and an acceptance of life as it is, with its imperfections and uncertainties. To the mind that is still, Lao Tzu said, the whole universe surrenders. This doesn't mean the universe bends to our will, but rather that a still mind can perceive the beauty and interconnectedness of all things, finding harmony within that understanding. This perception is happiness. Complexity often breeds anxiety. The more moving parts, the more things can go wrong, the more we worry. Simplicity, by its very nature, reduces the points of friction, the sources of potential stress. A simple life is often a more serene and manageable life. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They do not toil nor do they spin, yet they are arrayed in beauty. Nature itself is a testament to the elegance of simplicity. It achieves profound complexity and beauty through simple, underlying principles, operating in effortless harmony. True happiness is often found in the small, everyday moments. A shared laugh, the warmth of the sun, the quiet joy of a task done with presence. When life is too complex, these moments get lost in the noise. Simplifying allows us to reclaim our ability to notice and appreciate them. Lao Tzu valued humility. The pursuit of constant self-aggrandizement, of being seen as important or superior, is a source of much complication and suffering. True strength lies in knowing your worth without needing external validation, like a deep valley that can receive all streams. The best leader is one whose existence is barely known, Lao Tzu suggested. This applies to self-leadership too. When we live simply and authentically, our actions flow naturally, without the need for forceful self-promotion or a complicated persona. Our presence itself becomes a quiet influence. Letting go is a central theme in simplifying life. Letting go of old grudges, of unrealistic expectations, of the need to control everything. Each act of letting go creates space, reduces baggage, and lightens our journey, making room for joy to enter. What if true happiness is not about achieving a perfect state, but about embracing the imperfect journey? Lao Tzu's wisdom encourages acceptance of what is. This doesn't mean resignation, but a clear-seeing understanding that life includes both light and shadow, joy and sorrow, and that peace can be found amidst it all. Simplicity is not about deprivation or austerity for its own sake. It is about discerning the essential from the non-essential. It's an intentional choice to focus on what truly adds value to your life, what nurtures your soul, and to gently release the rest. This discernment is a skill cultivated over time. Consider the language you use, both spoken and internal. Is it filled with complaint, with complexity, with judgment? Simplifying your communication, speaking with clarity and kindness, can profoundly impact your inner state and your relationships. Words shape our reality. One practical step towards simplicity is to declutter one small area of your life today. It could be a drawer, your desktop, or even your mental to-do list. The act of clearing physical or mental space can have a surprisingly powerful effect on your sense of calm and control. Lao Tzu reminds us, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. This is a profound lesson in patience and trust. Our anxieties often stem from wanting things to happen on our timeline, not their own. Simplifying involves cultivating trust in the natural unfolding of life. True happiness isn't a constant state of euphoria. That's an unrealistic expectation that leads to disappointment. Instead, it's a deeper sense of contentment, resilience, and an ability to find peace even amidst challenges. It's a quiet hum of well-being beneath the surface of daily events. Simplicity invites us to be more present. When our minds are not racing ahead to the next thing or dwelling on the past, we can fully inhabit the now. And it is only in the present moment that life truly exists, that joy can be experienced. This is where happiness is found. The Tao Te Ching says, knowing others is intelligence, knowing yourself is true wisdom, mastering others is strength, mastering yourself is true power. Simplifying your life helps you turn inward to truly understand your own nature, your triggers, your deepest aspirations, beyond societal conditioning. Our obsession with productivity can be a major source of complexity. We often measure our worth by how much we do. Lao Tzu's wisdom suggests that being is just as important, if not more so. Creating moments of stillness, of non-doing, can be profoundly restorative and clarifying. Ask yourself, what am I holding onto that no longer serves me? It could be a belief, a habit, a relationship, or a material possession. The courage to let go, to simplify by subtraction, is a direct path to greater peace and happiness. Each release creates new space. Lao Tzu's philosophy is not about rejecting the world, but about engaging with it more skillfully, more mindfully. It's about finding the balance between action and stillness, doing and being, complexity and simplicity. True happiness lies in this harmonious dance. The simplest things in life are often the most profound. A genuine connection with another being, the beauty of the natural world, a moment of quiet gratitude. When we simplify, we sharpen our senses to these readily available sources of joy, which cost nothing yet enrich us deeply. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Simplifying your life may seem like a daunting task, but it begins with one small, intentional choice. Choose one thing today to simplify, one thing to let go of, one moment to be fully present. That is enough for now. Our minds often complicate matters by overthinking, by creating elaborate stories and anxieties about the future. Lao Tzu encourages a return to direct experience, to trust our intuition, to see things as they are, rather than through the filter of our fears and projections. One of Lao Tzu's 3 treasures is compassion for oneself and for others. When we are harsh and demanding with ourselves, life feels complex and burdensome. Self-compassion simplifies our inner world, allowing for mistakes and imperfections, which is essential for true happiness. The second treasure is often translated as frugality or simplicity. This isn't just about material things, but also about conserving energy, words, and actions. Not wasting our vital force on the unnecessary allows us to direct it towards what truly nourishes and sustains us. The third treasure is humility, not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. When the ego's need for constant validation and superiority subsides, life becomes vastly simpler and more peaceful. We connect more authentically with others when we are not trying to impress them. True happiness often coexists with an acceptance of mystery. Not everything needs to be figured out, controlled, or understood. Lao Tzu's wisdom embraces the unknown, the unnameable Tao. Simplifying our need for certainty can bring immense relief and open us to wonder. Our digital lives can be a major source of complexity and distraction. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, the pressure to maintain an online persona. Simplifying here might mean intentional digital detoxes, curating your feeds, or setting boundaries to reclaim your attention and peace. When you simplify your needs, you realize how little is actually required for contentment. The relentless pursuit of more is often a societal script, not an intrinsic human need. Unplugging from this script is a powerful act of liberation, leading to genuine happiness. Consider the impact of your environment. A cluttered, chaotic space often mirrors a cluttered, chaotic mind. Creating a simple, orderly, and beautiful environment can profoundly support your journey towards inner simplicity and calm. Your surroundings matter. Lao Tzu's wisdom is not about becoming a hermit, but about finding the sacred in the ordinary, simplicity in the midst of life. It's about cultivating an inner sanctuary of peace that you can carry with you, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. This powerful statement from Lao Tzu encapsulates the shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, found not in possessions but in perspective. Simplicity in your goals can also bring peace. Instead of 100 scattered ambitions, what if you focused on one or two that truly resonate with your deepest values? This concentrated effort, aligned with your authentic self, is far more fulfilling than chasing every fleeting desire. The rhythm of nature, an inhale and an exhale, activity and rest, growth and decay, is inherently simple and balanced. Aligning our own lives more closely with these natural rhythms, rather than the artificial urgencies of modern life, can restore our well-being. Don't mistake simplicity for shallowness. True simplicity is profound. It is the distillation of wisdom, the clarity that comes from seeing through illusion. It requires courage to choose simplicity in a world that constantly pushes for complexity. Happiness is not something to be pursued directly as an object. Lao Tzu might suggest it is a byproduct, a natural consequence of living a simple, authentic, and virtuous life in accordance with the Tao. It arises when the conditions are right, like a flower blooming. Silence is a source of great strength. In our noisy world, cultivating moments of silence is a radical act of self-care. It allows us to hear our own inner wisdom, to reconnect with ourselves, and to find a refuge from the external clamor. Simplicity often speaks in whispers. Simplifying your life might involve saying no more often. No to commitments that drain you. No to expectations that don't align with your values. No to the relentless pressure to be always on. Each no to the non-essential is a yes to your own well-being and true priorities. The art of non-doing, Wu Wei, also involves knowing when to act and when to allow things to unfold. It's about trusting the process, not forcing outcomes. This trust reduces anxiety and allows for more creative and effective solutions to emerge naturally. When we are caught in the trap of comparison, happiness remains elusive. There will always be someone with more, someone seemingly better. Lao Tzu's path encourages us to find contentment within our own unique journey, celebrating our own pace and our own definition of a life well lived. Practicing gratitude is a simple yet powerful way to shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. Take a moment each day to acknowledge the good in your life, however small. This practice cultivates a mindset of contentment, which is the soil for true happiness. Lao Tzu's teachings are not a rigid set of rules, but guiding principles to be adapted to your own life. The path to simplicity and happiness is personal. What needs simplifying in your life? What does true happiness mean to you, beyond external definitions? The mind can be like a restless monkey, jumping from thought to thought. Simplicity involves gently training the mind, not by suppressing thoughts, but by observing them without attachment, letting them come and go like clouds in the sky. This creates inner spaciousness. True happiness is durable. It's not dependent on the constant highs of excitement, which are inevitably followed by lows. It's a steady, underlying current of peace and acceptance that can weather the storms of life. This is the resilience born of simplicity. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Lao Tzu might observe our modern pace with this in mind. Simplifying is also about sustainability, managing our energy, our resources, our attention, so that we can live fully for the long haul, not burn out in a blaze of activity. Simplicity fosters clarity. When the clutter is removed, physical, mental, emotional, we can see our path more clearly. We understand our priorities. Decisions become easier. This clarity is a profound gift that arises from the commitment to simplify. What if you approached your life as a work of art and simplicity was your guiding aesthetic? Not stark minimalism, unless that calls to you, but an intentional composition where every element has purpose and beauty, and there is nothing superfluous. One practical step. For the next week, before acquiring anything new, ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will it genuinely add lasting value to my life, or is it a fleeting want? This simple pause can dramatically reduce impulse buys and clutter. Lao Tzu said, "Respond intelligently even to unintelligent treatment." This is a form of inner simplicity, not getting drawn into drama, not reacting impulsively, but maintaining your center. This preserves your peace and energy, preventing others from complicating your inner state. True happiness is often about connection, to ourselves, to others, to nature, to something larger than us. Simplicity can deepen these connections by removing the distractions and preoccupations that keep us feeling separate and isolated. The journey to simplify and find true happiness is not a race. It is a gradual unfolding, a practice. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Some days will be easier than others. The intention, consistently renewed, is what matters most. Remember the power of the uncarved block, your innate, natural self. Simplicity helps you shed the layers of conditioning, expectation, and artifice, allowing your authentic essence to shine through. This is where your truest happiness resides. As you simplify your external world, you may find your inner world becomes richer, more vibrant. With fewer distractions, you have more capacity for deep thought, for creativity, for appreciating the subtleties of life, for genuine contentment. So the invitation from Lao Tzu echoes through the ages. Simplify your life. Let go of the excess, the hurry, the need for more. Embrace the enoughness of the present. In this simplicity, you will find a profound and enduring happiness, a quiet joy that the world cannot give nor take away. This isn't about a set of rules, but a shift in heart, a new way of seeing. It's about choosing peace over chaos, contentment over constant striving, and depth over superficiality. The wisdom of Lao Tzu offers a timeless map to this more fulfilling way of being. As you move forward from this moment, carry this question with you. What is one small way I can invite more simplicity, and thus more true happiness, into my life today? The answer, and the journey, begins with you right now.